Guys, I have a very important update on the stocks that I'm personally holding: SoFi, Robinhood, Nvidia, Palantir, Tesla. Not in any particular order, but I'm going to cover each and every single one of these stocks, go over the technicals, and how you can urgently make money this week. This week is going to be big. We're now in September, and I believe September is going to be a big month. There's back to school right now. The economy is going to be very busy, and this is going to be a big deal for the stock market. So let's jump right into it and not waste any time at all. First stock I'm going to cover is going to be Tesla. Usually I cover this later on in my videos, but Tesla is a very interesting stock right now that has had actually pretty good stability. The stock is not making any big moves, it's not making any big falls either. There's no real momentum to the stock. And I wanted to go over this because a lot of people that have this stock, I believe, can actually make money by selling options on it. Real quick, what I think Tesla's going to do in the next 3 to 6 months, and then we'll move on to Nvidia. So Tesla is currently facing a transition period right now, as stated by CEO Elon Musk, mainly due to the anticipation or the anticipated loss of the U.S. electric vehicle tax credits starting September. So right now, we're kind of in that transition period where Tesla's no longer going to receive easy and free money from the government, which could impact sales and it could impact the stock actually negatively. So, I'm being objective in my videos. I'm giving you the good and the bad, not just hyping you up for only good things. I'm telling you both sides. So, Musk warned a possible rough quarters ahead with revenue down 12% and profit down 16% recently. So, there's also a lot of increased competition from European and Chinese car makers. Right now, I'm in Europe, and I can see there's a lot of competitors on the streets. There's BYD. There's other Chinese vehicles, the Hongqi. I'm getting Yandex Go, right? So like when I take a taxi, I'm not using Uber in the country that I'm at. I'm using Yandex, and the cars that keep coming is just like Chinese vehicles. So all over Eastern Europe, just Chinese vehicles everywhere. So if you look at Europe, Tesla sales have pledged significantly, around 40% in July 2025, and this trend has kind of continued where Tesla has increased competition. They're looking at India, and India is not an easy market. India is one of the hardest countries to really build a big business in. So if you look at Musk's political stances as well, I don't really know if his affiliations and all his political drama, I'll call it, is really that conducive to a stock like Tesla having good performance. So pretty much all the rough patches that you see, it's typically like Elon getting out of line. And we have seen a lot of consumers even boycott and hurt Tesla sales because his political drama, doesn't matter which side you're on, it's upsetting really both sides of Democrats and Republicans, and this can hurt customer loyalty. So the backlash has hit Tesla's brand appeal, especially in more politically sensitive markets like Europe, right? So I think politics is, to me, it's kind of dumb and it gets nothing accomplished. And Elon kind of participating in creating drama is not really going to help Tesla for the most part. So I think you can make money this week on Tesla though, because it's not going really anywhere. It's going sideways. And if it goes sideways, that's actually a good opportunity for an option trader to sell put options. You can easily sell puts right around these levels at 305, 310 even, and that's actually pretty good entry into the stock. So pretty easy money, especially if you have a bigger portfolio. You sell a couple options. I mean, that's going to be significant amounts of capital. Maybe it's 30k, 60k on two contracts if you sell a put option. But it's going to be a pretty safe bet that Tesla will likely have good stability. You can see there's very strong support at 285, another support at 300. So I would definitely be selling put options. And look, the federal EV tax credit, which is up to 7,500 for new vehicles and 4,000 for used vehicles, officially ends on September 30th. So right now, it's also a good opportunity to trade Tesla because buyers must purchase and take delivery before this date to claim the credit. So Tesla's U.S. Model Y inventory, I have done some research, and it's already shrinking as demand rises before the deadline. So we have the rest of this month to make a lot of money on Tesla. Like literally, you can make a lot of money stably on Tesla, and this is going to be available up until September 30th. So in the next quarter of earnings, they may not be that good, and the stock may have lower returns going out for longer. All right, next stock I want to cover is going to be Nvidia. Nvidia is currently trading for around $170 to $175 per share. Nvidia is undoubtedly one of the most important companies in the AI world. You guys know I've been bullish on AI. If If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, I've been mentioning AI. I mentioned AI all this year, and I said this is going to be the year of AI. And I've literally created millionaires from saying that because a lot of people invested in NVIDIA, in Palantir. We're going to talk about Palantir soon. It has created absolute riches. Like, you made money hand over fist, right? Bicep over tricep money, absolutely crazy. And NVIDIA produces graphics processing units, right? And they power data centers, which is essential to AI, which makes it possible to train, deploy, and scale AI as we know it today. The last quarter, NVIDIA data centers made over $40 billion with massive increases in total revenue. NVIDIA makes GPUs for gaming consoles as well, automotive applications, and networking. But data centers are really the bread and butter. The company plans to go all in, becoming an AI infrastructure company, which it has successfully done. And I would continue to invest in NVIDIA in my portfolio. I do have a significant amount of NVIDIA. We have 5,000 shares that we are holding of NVIDIA stock. So you can see here, I am basically flat on the position, but I have sold covered calls on NVIDIA at 170. I made $37,000. So it's been very nice to have NVIDIA, especially to do covered calls lately. And this is actually how I've hedged the position because NVIDIA was a lot higher, as you guys know. NVIDIA was, sitting at 182, etc. And now with it coming down, my covered calls ended up making a lot of money. By the way, if you want these plays, I know a lot of people on YouTube are selling a program. They say, I have a Discord, I have this network, I have this program. My program, I believe, is the best because I just authentically show everything. I don't know about other portfolios of people showing all their positions. I just go position by position every single Monday and Wednesday, and I show everything that I have, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. And I do a lot of research around this because I'm very results oriented as well as risk management oriented. So best of both worlds is what I focus on because I see a huge demand from you guys that want to really scale your portfolio and grow a lot. Learn option trading. Maybe you're a beginner. You don't really know how to trade options profitably. You don't know how to do the technical analysis. That's what I've been doing for multiple years now. So I'd love to encourage you to schedule a free consultation and to learn more about my program and the structure of it and how it can benefit you. And if it's not a fit, that's no problem at all. I'm just here to create more relationships, more profitable relationships that end up helping people learn option trading, especially if you're a beginner and you have a portfolio that you want to grow. You want to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, and beyond. You want to get to that point. That's what I've done myself. I'm beyond that point, but I can help you get to that smaller point and then to scale more from there. So if you have a big portfolio, it's a no-brainer, obviously. So yeah, look, this is NVIDIA. This is how I hedged, and my community's happy that I hedged this way because although the stock is down, because in the short term it's unpredictable, I ended up making really good money on NVIDIA options. So the pivot has really worked for NVIDIA, by the way. They've been pivoting just to only AI. They're just hyper focused on that. And it's worked out in NVIDIA's favor as it expects to continue to really scale their business. AI infrastructure spending is going to increase, from 3 trillion to 4 trillion and beyond over the next 5 years as some of the largest AI spenders, including, obviously the Magnificent Seven stocks, continue to spend more and more money and invest in infrastructure, invest in their business. So NVIDIA's real largest roadblock isn't even the market. Like, I'm 100% sure. Like, I'm positive on their business. Their only roadblock is really they're in the middle of a volatile relationship between U.S. and China. That's really it. That's the only roadblock that they have. So the Trump administration imposed a ban on sales of the H20 chip. So NVIDIA's China relationship isn't really that good. They can't really even sell there. So we've also seen that there was kind of like a reverse decision in July after NVIDIA agreed to pay the government a 15% tax on AI chips. So the situation is kind of solved. It's not ideal for NVIDIA, but it's a good situation. So I said it's going to get resolved as well. You can watch any of my older videos. I said this is going to get resolved. There's just too much money on the table. People love money. Governments love money. Everyone loves money. So they're going to come to a conclusion, and that's pretty much what happened with NVIDIA. I can see the stock really doing well for the rest of this year. I think we're going to get some really good results for NVIDIA stock. I think we're easily going to hit 180, 190, 200 in the next few months. All right, next stock is Palantir. Right now, Palantir is extremely interesting this week. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, just really any day this week when the market opens up, just jump into Palantir. It's pulled back. Look at the stock. It's pulled back a lot. It's pulled back like $30. Yeah, it's pulled back $30, making Palantir an amazing entry point. And look, Palantir has surpassed IBM. They have surpassed Cisco. They're reaching some really nice numbers in their revenue. Their market cap is sitting at $371 billion. The PE ratio has come down from 600 down to 500. Not cheap, but PE ratios don't matter when a company is growing so fast, because the PE ratio it can go from 500 down to 250 very, very quickly. So Palantir is a top 20 US company in the world. This company is doing amazing things. The CEO has an amazing business that he knows how to lead. And the valuation to me is not stretched when the company is growing this much, this fast. We've seen some, analysts on Wall Street, by the way, those guys, they have a full-time job being an analyst, but doesn't really, like, I'm a better analyst than an analyst because I've had better results. So these analysts, one day they're like hot, one day they're cold, one day they think the stock's going to do this or that, and they're wrong 50-50. So it's like kind of like flipping a quarter, essentially, and I've had better results. So I would take this with a grain of salt when it comes to analysts. But JP Morgan, they have flagged Palantir as extreme overcrowding. They're not necessarily wrong. It is an overcrowded trade, but it's overcrowded because there's good reason to invest in Palantir. So yes, it is overcrowded, and every YouTuber, for the most part, copies others, right? So I've been on this platform for a long time, and you'll see other channels that are smaller than mine come up, and they only cover Palantir and all the same topics. So YouTube almost makes like trades more overcrowded, like a Palantir, because it's easy to piggyback off of like my idea. I bought Palantir at IPO. I don't want to seem cocky here, but on IPO, there's no other channel that has on IPO said I'm buying it on IPO day. So when I see so much coverage on Palantir, it makes sense why a JP Morgan would say that they're overcrowded, but it doesn't matter. The valuation is still fine, and there's still a lot of room for growth. And the stock's gonna head back to $185 per share. Like we're gonna hit 185 again. It's not really an if it's gonna happen. It's just really an when it's gonna happen, which is a really nice growth. So if you look at that growth, you can make some good money in the next 3 to 6 months as well, starting this week. Like I always talk about 2-time perspectives, because you guys, when I make the video title and I say watch before, I really mean that this is urgent information, because the stock can go up at any time. All these stocks can go up at any time, right? So we're in an active market. Every single day is important. If you're a new investor, especially if you have cash and you want to invest that cash, then this is very urgent information for you to take advantage of and take action on. Okay, it's very important. So I would not be doing covered calls on Palantir. I would just buy the stock, dollar cost average into it, and then I would hold the stock. Palantir has an opportunity to reach 500 billion market cap, 750 billion, and a $1 trillion valuation. And software is extremely profitable business. Palantir Software collects the sparse data sets from an organization. It basically makes that data available to decision makers. So data is the new oil. I study data analytics, finance, and economics. And I already knew, because I saw the writing on the wall, back when I was in college, that data was going to be a competitive advantage for companies. And there was going to be a lot of companies hiring data analysts and data scientists. And actually, data scientist was one of the sexiest jobs to have. I think like 5-10 years ago, I really wanted to become a data scientist because of the high pay, of course, and my interest in analytics. So Palantir has basically made even everyday employees closer to having that strength and knowledge of being a data scientist without having to know how to code. So it's really democratizing advanced AI, which is honestly, the strongest trend, the strongest power that I have seen, and that's why Palantir deserves to grow and continue to be a dominating force in the top 20 US stocks. All right, let's talk about SoFi. So SoFi as a business is one of the best businesses out there, $30 billion, which is, again, a great valuation for SoFi as a business. I think 30 billion is reasonable. you know, at 14 billion, this was an extremely undervalued stock. I mean, like, extremely, and that's why the stock doubled. They have a strong business, and this week I can see the stock just continuing the momentum trend. Like, this stock will likely just continue to grow. You can see here some analysts already have raised a little bit of price targets here. This analyst is a dummy, going from 13 to 14. Like, this guy's late. This is what I'm talking about. Analysts that go from 13 to 14. Like, are you kidding me? Are you joking with me? Like, dude, you're like over $10 off. You're like double off. Like, you're not even close. So like, the analysts, yeah, crack me up sometimes. But yeah, SoFi, they had a little bit of weakness due to earnings. It also primarily, they were mentioning dilution, how SoFi issued 750 million in convertible notes. But to me, it like doesn't matter at all. It's not like random dilution. It's a really smart move from the company. And finally, investors like figured that out. So there's a little bit of a drop, but then just back to business, baby. Just back to making money, back to getting richer, back to business, right? I would be even more excited if I wasn't sick right now and had a sore throat. I'm telling you, there is money. There is money to be made on SoFi. You can get stupid rich. Stupid amounts of money has been made on SoFi. And I personally plan to continue making stupid amounts of money. By the way, my portfolio, I have SoFi. And the reason why my portfolio is not going up is because I've had a lot of expenses lately. And I'm thinking about taking the portfolio down to taking a couple mil out, because I plan to buy some real estate and I've had a lot of expenses lately. So just so you know, I've been making a lot of money, and the only reason I'm not going up is because I have to do withdrawals. All right, let's wrap up the video on SoFi. I got one more stock. Goodness, I'm gonna have to make it through here. So SoFi, they're just having a lot of growth. They have an excellent business model where they get people in the door and then they upsell these people. Dilution, I don't care. If we zoom out, SoFi has a bank charter, which is a huge cost advantage. They own the entire business from front to back end. If you compare it to the next stock, which I'm going to cover, Robinhood, I would say that SoFi is going to do better in good markets. All right, let's do Robinhood here. So Robinhood launched 24/7 customer support, which is really good, because I think one of the biggest questions on Robinhood was people were like, well, you know, they don't have good customer support. I'd rather use an E-Trade, a Fidelity, a Schwab, etc., right? But now they have the entire business really in growth mode. So I think Robinhood is a good investment. You sell a $100 put, $100 is the exact right price to pay for Robinhood. And if you look at the revenue, so basically Robinhood's cooking. As soon as I get my throat better, I'm going to cover Robinhood. I'll go over SoFi in more detail. I didn't have enough time and I don't want to make this video too long. Let's make some money, guys. I'm going to make a lot of trades this week. So if you're interested in coaching, check out the first link, schedule a free call. Make sure that you show up to the free call as well. There's no obligations. So if you want to get information, you know where to go. Please be careful. The comments have a lot of scammers and impersonators. But anyways, let's make some money this week, and I'll catch you in the next one.